Hello, everybody. My name is John Ingram, and I am once again proud and happy and excited to be joined by Stacey Ryan, the Communications and Development Director with the Valley Symphony Association, Troy Raper, the music conductor for the VSA, and joining us for the first time on this series, Becky Mashburn, who is Member Relations Manager with DMEA Elevate, and they are the concert partner for the upcoming concert Classic Drama Feel the Music. Now, this concert is on Saturday, November 11th at 6:30 p.m. and Sunday, November 12th at 3 p.m. It is the first official concert for season 52 with the Valley Symphony Association. Of course, there was the Pops in the Park concert, the free show on September 9th, and the season is really kicking into high gear with this show or these shows on the 11th and the 12th of November. So thanks, everybody, for joining me. And Stacey, I want to ask you, we were talking a little bit before we started recording, how season 52 has progressed thus far. And progress may not be the right word because technically it's really just beginning with this first concert. But let me ask you, how has the season, how is the development as we get underway for season 52? How has that been going thus far?
Thus far, great. We of course, we have our Pops. We've had our Pops in the Park concert, as you mentioned, and that was at the Montrose Rotary Amphitheater. And our upcoming concert series is at the Montrose Pavilion. And we are back this year to our sixth concert series, and starting, as you mentioned, with classic drama, and then we'll move into Christmas by Candlelight and everyone's favorite. and we've got more shows coming up, and we've got a mix with the chorus and the orchestra together, the orchestra alone, the chorus alone. So we're back to that whole thing, and we're really looking forward to being back into that sixth concert series this year. Absolutely.
Sixth concert series is the full slate. And Troy, that means you've got your work cut out for you. How excited are you as you gear up for the shows on the 11th and 12th of November? How excited are you to kind of go through a full season as the official conductor for the VSA?
Well, this has been amazing. We're kicking in. We've had several rehearsals on this new show, and it's been really fun to get to know the orchestra in a different way. You know, as a guest conductor, you sort of come in and throw all your tricks at them and go to there. But to really sit down and get to work, these volunteer musicians are all super dedicated and really spending some real time preparing for this first big show. And we've got a lot of music on this show that's highly dramatic and very, very exciting to listen to. That just means it's a lot of work for the musicians. So they're digging in and doing their thing.
And we're going to talk some about the specifics of the music that we should expect at this upcoming concert. But Becky, I want to go to you, and I want to hear a little bit about the background of how DMEA Elevate got involved with the VSA and basically how the partnership, how it evolved.
Sure. Well, it's going to sound like too simple of an answer, but it's just what we do, right? So DMEA is a cooperative business, which means we exist to serve. So Valley Symphony is really one of many organizations that DMEA supports in our local communities, because community it's our heart. It's the why behind our services. And we believe in supporting organizations like Valley Symphony. They enrich our communities. They build connections between people. They make our community a community. So it's not a big background. It's just part of the fabric of who we are as a co-op.
Yeah, I think very well said. And I've talked almost every time we do these interviews about just how important the community support is for organizations such as the VSA, but elsewhere as well. Every organization in town and on the Western Slope definitely gets a lot of support from the community, from sponsors and partners like DMEA Elevate. And Stacey, I want to take that back to you. What has the partnership of DMEA Elevate, what has that done for the VSA? And talk a little bit about just some of the benefits that the VSA has from partners such as DMEA Elevate.
Absolutely. You know, all of our partners like DMEA Elevate, they help us be here. We could not be here without the support of these very generous organizations. And like Becky said, this is a simple answer too, but we couldn't be here without them. So we couldn't put these shows on. We couldn't have Troy here. We couldn't have music on our stands. I mean, it just, it's the whole, what happens backstage is what allows us to be on stage.
And Troy, I want to talk a bit about on stage, as Stacey kind of teed that up for us. I told you I was going to ask about some of the specifics of the music. Now, of course, we don't want to give the whole show away for classic drama field music. Again, that is Saturday, November 11th at 6:30 and Sunday, November 12th at 3. But Troy, take us through, maybe not the whole set list, but talk about some of the themes we're going to hear for this upcoming concert.
Well, the whole idea for this show was that emotion plays such a huge role in people's lives in music, and every song you hear, every piece that you've heard in a movie or in a play or on the road has an effect emotionally. And everything that I selected for this show has some sort of emotional attachment, not only for me, but for most people that hear them. They have a relationship with that music, and that's why this is such a dramatic thing. We're going to play Haydn's last work, which is the Symphony 104, the London Symphony, and that has, throughout all four movements, has just huge highs and low lows that are emotionally attached, and you're going to recognize themes that you've heard in movies or you've heard in various advertisings. I was doing some studying and going through different parts, and it's amazing what you attach to, even if it's a 8-measure phrase, and you'll hear it in the piece, and it has emotional attachment to everyone.
I know it's pretty well said. I think that what I love about the various shows, various concerts from the VSA is all the themes are very creative, and I like to say this a lot, even if classical music is not necessarily what you listen to on a day-to-day basis. I think that anyone can just come and enjoy the beauty of it. I mean, it's not it doesn't need to be what you listen to on your drive to work, but you can appreciate the beauty, and it's fun, right?
Oh yeah, and we're also going to play things like Sorcerer's Apprentice, straight out of the Fantasia, and everyone has a relationship with Mickey Mouse and Fantasia, and when you hear that, there's emotion there, whether you're a child or whether you're 95 years old. You've seen that and heard that. We've got a little bit of everything in this show, so I'm excited to share it with it. It's a big deal for me to have that first pavilion concert with this orchestra and really show what they can do. It's been a wonderful growth process over the last 6 weeks.
And Becky, to bring it back to you, we talked about the background of DMEA Elevate with getting involved with the VSA, but what does the VSA? How would you say that it kind of relates to everything you're about? You talked about being the fabric of the community, but what does the VSA specifically mean to DMEA Elevate, and what makes the VSA special in terms of all the organizations that you partner with?
Well, I think one of the things that makes them special, particularly in how it relates to what DMEA and Elevate do, is that it contributes to the rich local culture. So it's building something that's important, whether it's sharing world-class music with community members or inspiring a new generation of musicians. It's providing access to a service just like we do. It's just a different service, but the purpose is the same, right? To build a better community. So I stress that it's really, it means to us what it does mean to the community members.
Yeah. And Stacey, I want to ask you kind of the same thing. You come in and we do these interviews frequently, and we talk about what the community means to you, or the community support, I should say. But I'm wondering, what do you think VSA means to the community? How would you, sum up the role that it plays in the community on a day-to-day or season-to-season basis?
So that's a great question. I think that because classical music is so timeless, it's in our DNA, it's in our culture. People do, like Troy was saying, you will recognize this music, even if you don't think you might, or you'll recognize it. It'll touch you. It gets in your soul. And what I think is important about what we do is that if you look on stage, our demographics are teenagers to 80 somethings. And so that's what we want to see out in our audience, but that's really who we're trying to reach. We're trying to reach everybody because this music is for everybody. And it's something that will bring us together and does bring us together like any concert, but because this is a classical concert, it just has a different, I think, a different depth to it. I'd love to hear what Troy has to say about this.
And I would follow that up with saying that a community group in its essence is something that everyone in the community can appreciate, whether or not they have history or education in classical music or non-classical music. Classical music is making a transition now from, the stodgy Rachmaninoff to, more music that is being used in so many pieces of media now that it becomes a familiar background as well as a foreground to activities. And so I think just having that community group here makes it available for people in the community to come enjoy a new concept of sound.
Yeah, man, and I've lived in other towns other than Montrose, I would say, and one thing I am struck with by Montrose is every weekend, whether it's winter or summer, there's always stuff going on. And to me, that was one of my favorite things about coming here is that there is so much to do, so much community involvement, so many volunteer opportunities, so many organizations that do good to the community. And, in addition to what they may be raising money for, it's just a fun way to spend weekends. And again, the VSA plays right into that. It is certainly, just part of what makes the culture so rich. And Stacey, back to you.
Yeah, one other thing I would even follow up with what Troy said is what this does for the community is if I take this hat off and put my musician hat on, I, as a non-professional musician, to have the opportunity to play in a group like this, it's really rare.
Yeah.
And these organizations are not as common as they once were. These community music organizations, community bands, community orchestras, community choruses. And as a musician, there are many of us who have lots of years of study under our belt, and we're accomplished high school musicians who didn't necessarily go up into college or professionally, or even some people that came to this after they retired, they learned how to play. And so this gives us all, from teenagers to 80 somethings, opportunity to come together and practice for a purpose, and then be able to perform. And to have seen in the years I've been a musician there, the last 12, 13 years, it's really come a long way. And there are a lot of people that put their heart and soul into this to give this back to the community. And these are people who are in law enforcement. These are people who are doctors, are lawyers, are teachers, are students, housewives. It's really across the board. These are people that you might just be standing in the line at the grocery store with, who are actually get up there and play, and they do it out of love for playing. But it really is a community thing as a musician to be able to come together in that community and then give to your community.
And I just want to kind of reiterate that the Classic Drama Feel the Music concert is Saturday, November 11th at 6:30 p.m. and Sunday, November 12th at 3 p.m. That, of course, is at the Montrose Pavilion. And if you would like more information, make sure to go to their website, valleysymphony.net. Now, Becky, I want to take this back to you and give you an opportunity to let us know and let the listeners know basically anything going on at DMEA Elevate, any updates, news, any things that you'd like the folks to know. Of course, DMEA Elevate plays a very central role in the community and people's day-to-day lives. But anything you'd like to share about any updates at DMEA Elevate?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much for that opportunity. So this first one is for all the parents out there. Over the next few months, oh my goodness, let me start over.
No problem.
Okay. So this one's for all the parents out there. Over the next few months, DMEA will be opening our application process for our youth leadership programs, which are for local high school students. One is actually a tour of Washington, D.C., and the other is a leadership camp up in Steamboat. So two great opportunities for kids to gain some leadership skills, but also have a lot of fun while doing that. And then in December, our scholarship program opens up for graduating seniors and continuing ed students. And we offer more than $50,000 in scholarships. So I don't want parents to miss out on those opportunities. Sure. But, of course, I can't come on the radio and not mention Elevate Internet. So a big, time for us there. Our fiber internet service is now available across almost 70% of DMEA's footprint. So I encourage everybody to check out our services at elevateinternet.com. But something I'm personally really proud of there is that we recently added some parental control features and built-in virus and malware protection to all of our internet services. No strings attached, free of charge. So we're making it just as safe as it is fast. And I think that just, means a lot to me as a parent, but also another way we're improving the quality of life in our communities.
Yeah, thank you for that update. That's good to know, and something I think that benefits the community as a whole, from safe internet to scholarship opportunities. That's fantastic. So thank you for that, and thanks for sharing. Stacey, how about you? Anything else that you would like us to know, whether about the upcoming concert or season 52 as a whole, or anything else? The floor is yours.
Anything else? I just would love for people to get out there and get their tickets for this show, and actually season tickets obviously are still available. We have upcoming Christmas presents are needed, and stocking stuffers, and think about us. And again, I think we are a really wonderful opportunity for families to expose themselves and their kids and everybody to live classical music, and it'll be fun, I promise.
I think that it is definitely a good holiday gift for sure. It's good to know, and perfect timing, because it's time for all of us to start thinking about holiday gifts, and it just kind of gave me some anxiety there. But it's season tickets to the VSA.
No pressure, John.
A great gift. And Troy, what about you? Anything else that you'd like to share?
Well, I would say that because it is a community organization, one of the things we're looking for right now is rebuilding some of our leadership in the organization, and we're always looking for volunteers and people that have a willingness to share their gifts with this orchestra, and board and volunteerism in this group is highly needed to keep everything running smoothly and available for everyone. So if you're interested, please check out the website or give myself or Stacey a call, and we will walk you through what we're looking for.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. All three of you: Stacey Ryan, Communications and Development Director with the VSA; Troy Raper, the Music Conductor at the VSA; and Becky Mashburn, Member Relations Manager with DMEA Elevate. Of course, the concert partner for the upcoming show. It is going to be November 11th at 6:30 p.m. and Sunday, November 12th at 3 p.m. That is at the Montrose Pavilion, and the theme is Classic Drama, Feel the Music. You can get more information at valleysymphony.net. Hopefully this interview was informative as well, and we appreciate and look forward to the community's continued involvement with the Valley Symphony Association. We'll now get back to our regularly scheduled programming on Townsquare Media Montrose.